Welcome to Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell 3 was not a bad idea. Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell 3 took place on November 24th in 2018 under the Golden Boy MMA promotion in Inglewood, California. Many people would go on to heavily criticize the fight, claiming that because Liddell hadn't fought in 8 years, that the contest was unfair towards Liddell and irresponsible regarding his safety. But is that really true? Let's take a closer look. Both Liddell and Ortiz were in their 40s at the time of the fight, Liddell at 48, Ortiz at 43, hardly an extreme age disparity. In 2013, a 48-year-old Tank Abbott would fight a 43-year-old Ruben Warpath Viriel at King of the Cage. Same age disparity, with the 48-year-old Abbott getting knocked out. No public outcry, no criticism, nothing. And Tank was in much worse health, winding up in an ICU for a liver transplant within 5 years after the matchup. 5 years after Ortiz versus Liddell 3, and Chuck is doing just fine. I guess Tank Abbott's life isn't as important as the Iceman's? And what about Dan Henderson, who competed and fought for a UFC title at age 46? To me, the matchup made sense mainly because Liddell and Ortiz had fought twice before, with Liddell winning both fights by knockout in dominating fashion. It was reasonable to assume he could do it again. If you were Tito Ortiz, wouldn't you want a chance at redemption here? What if you met up with a guy at the bar who knocked you out 2 times in the past? You're now 43, he's 48, and he wants to fight again. Would you honestly say, "No, sir, that's not fair"? This probably has happened a million times, if not more. Even Chuck himself was quite confident going into the bout, stating, "I wanted to get back into the game. I got interested and excited about fighting again, and I needed a tune-up fight. And I needed a tune-up fight that we could sell. Tito is a great tune-up fight and a great measuring stick to where I am and where my comeback is. If everything goes to plan on Saturday, I'll be ready to go and fight someone for real. If I can't perform to the level I expect to, I'll hang it up for good." Based on the criticism the fight would receive, you'd think Chuck was forced into fighting Ortiz for a third time. Literally human trafficked right into the cage, forced at gunpoint by a gang of shadowy mobsters in expensive suits, all orchestrated by the evil promoter Oscar De La Hoya. Chuck is and was a man's man. Nobody forced him into the fight. He wanted it, and a former world champion at 48 should be able to make that choice for himself. And in the end, Chuck Liddell is doing just fine. He took a couple of bonks in the head from Ortiz and then retired. No one got crippled, no one died. So let's scrap the public anger and cries of travesty and injustice, because in a world full of travesties, this was just a fight between 2 athletes who were both past their prime. Thanks for watching, and be sure to let me know what you think in the comment section below.